Hello. I just want to say that I've just had to talk a little bit about PTSD. It's not only soldiers that may suffer from PTSD, it's people who've been the victims of natural disasters or terrible bullying or distress. Um, and I just want to say I'm glad in a way that perseverance is rewarded and that people who have had the perseverance to try and make it to this country may somewhat find themselves in a better situation than they had been recently. But um, to sort of have a lot of NHS personnel who have been in dreadfully traumatic situations um, may be difficult in itself. I mean, if we're thinking of paying overseas workers far less than people uh, to be employed than people who have lived and been brought up here, we have to be aware that, like Theresa May did say, and she was wrong in many ways to have discriminated against that girl who wanted to come back from Afghanistan. She said that there was something about her having seen a head in a bin or something, and Theresa May tried to say that therefore she would be too traumatized to be able to settle down in this country. Now, I think that that girl was unfairly discriminated against, though she had seemingly been groomed by a terrorist organization, I think, for some time, and then had changed her mind about wanting to be part of that and wanted asylum back here in the UK. She shouldn't have allowed herself to be groomed by the terrorist organization, but she was very young. And, but to argue that no one should have to see a head in a bin is what needs to be argued to some extent and looked after. Recently, very recently, I received a copy of the New Internationalist magazine. I believe this is run by a group of people to do with Oxford University or the University of Oxford. On the front of it, it has a Banksy-like photograph with the world up as a balloon for the young girl. Still trying to keep optimistic in some respects, a will to win or a will to save, a will to win or something. Hopefully it's not all pie in the sky. But early on in the magazine, we unfortunately learn about a place called One Kidney Village in Afghanistan. Now, we heard about them freezing there and about all the banks, the UK banks and so on, having withdrawn from there, and the soldiers having been brought back from trying to keep it so that women's rights or well, let's say opportunities for women, because I don't know, I'm worried that none of them have any rights at the moment, because we do learn about this One Kidney Village. I don't know whether you can see that. Where's the headline? One Kidney Village. And it's about all these people in Afghanistan in their early 20s or 30s, many of them with children who can't support their children any longer. So they've been persuaded into thinking that the only option is to sell a kidney. And there are surgeons operating, ripping out kidneys and leaving them, many of them, not in a good position physically afterwards. It is possible to survive with one kidney, but not if the surgery has not gone right, and it's not as good trying to survive with one kidney as it would be with two. And I do worry about kidney problems in the Western world to some extent. I'm not immune from physical or fears of physical difficulties, but to try and harbour body parts from a village that's struggling um, would be a really horrible business idea. I'm sorry, but and not only that, but if people manage to escape from Afghanistan and get back here to the UK, they would likely to have some kind of mental disorder to do with grudges or wishes for revenge. I'm not trying to be awful, but it must be, it's really there has to be some. They would think that a viable business idea was about exploiting as much money from someone as quickly as possible. That they would think that it meant possibly harming people in order to get money. And that's obviously, it's not a great idea.